Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to hop on here today and do a video to help some of you that may have just been receiving your compacts with all of your goodies in them. And maybe you have questions about what I put in your color match and what to use where and which products to layer and all of that jazz. So that's hopefully what I will be able to answer for you in this video. If you have questions that I don't answer, certainly leave them below and I'm happy to help you out there. But if you'd like just sort of a beginner's tutorial for a full face, then keep watching. All right, so let's jump in and get started. The first thing that I do, I like to do my eyes first in case I have any fallout from the eyeshadows. So I take a little eyeshadow primer. I like the MAC Prep and Prime 24 hour. Again, I think I said this in the video before, who would leave it on 24 hours? Not me. But it tends to really do a good job for me as far as helping keep my eyeshadows from creasing and keeping, I've got oily eyelids, and so it helps with that as well. So I just put a little of that on, and it starts to feel just a tiny bit tacky, and that's the way I like to make sure that it's ready to go. I like to set it with a skin tone powder eyeshadows so that other ones that they don't drag when I'm trying to blend everything together. So I just take my eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna try not to blind you here, and you can tell I use this one all the time. I just dip it into there, tap it off, and then I just put a real light layer right there just to set that. Not super thick, just real light. Okay, kind of cancels out a little of the redness I have. Then I take the same brush, I've got a towel in my lap, I just wipe it off, and I go into my crease. I'm just gonna do a super simple eye look today because I don't want this to take forever. So I go into my crease with this one here, another favorite that you can tell, basic, and just kind of create a little bit of a shadow there. So I'm certainly still at home, not working, not going anywhere today. I'm not going to get all glammed up, but I just thought it might be fun to film this because I haven't done one in a while. So that's why we're going to keep the look pretty simple. All right, so you can see that just created some definition. The other thing I like to do, just for a super simple look, is pick a deeper color to deepen the outer V. I typically always go, gosh, I'm such a creature of habit. I go for like a dark, kind of a chocolate brown, just because it's the easiest. It kind of gives me a natural but pumped up a little bit look. So you can see there. Oh, in the camera it looks really scary. In life, not quite so much. But I just blend out those edges so that I don't have any harsh lines there. And so it's just created a little bit of an external shadow. Now, let's see. The other thing I like to do, I've been doing this a lot lately. I know for years I was told, you know, mature skin, you can't wear shimmer on your lids. You know, don't do it. It'll accentuate wrinkles, yada, yada. And they're probably right, it does to an extent, but I've recently, over the past several months, just really fallen in love with having a little, it's not sparkle, it's not glitter, but just a little bit of shimmer to add a little dimension and a little life to my eyes. All right, so you can see all these here on the bottom are shimmers. And so what I'll do is I will take and just dab a little on my clean hands. I just cleaned them as I was getting ready to do this. And it just, I hope you can tell in the camera, it just adds a little bit of brightness right there where I need it. Let me do this one with the other hand so that you can see. All right, so it's just such a pretty subtleness that it does. I will wipe off this brush that I used to blend and use it again right there. All right, so really super simple with the eyes today. I could go all in with color and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to. I am going to use a little liner because I have just learned that my eyes just look better with some liner. I love this one here, Maybelline Lasting Drama, and get it at Walmart, Dollar General, wherever it is you find your Maybelline. This one's kind of a drier formula, and I get it on a brush. And then I'm going to look down here in the mirror, so if I'm not looking at you. So I just get it on the little brush and pull it across. And I like this because it really makes that lash line look a lot thicker than it is, because mine is certainly thinned out as I've aged. And please, I am by no means perfect with eyeliner. I just get it on there and hope for the best. But my eyelashes have really thinned out, so I need this. And here's another place where I break the rules, being a mature woman putting on makeup. They say don't wear black eyeliner. Well, I disagree. I have tried browns, and they're okay, but they just don't accentuate my eyes like I want them to. And I'm not wearing black winged eyeliner and all of this, you know, craziness. I just like a little black eyeliner around the lash line to emphasize that. So there we go. That's what I do there. Now, what I will also do is I'm going to let that dry for a second. It's really good. For me, it doesn't transfer, and, you know, it's all the things that I want it to be. But I do like to let it dry for a second, and then I will go in with a little brush and put just a little bit of black eyeshadow on top of it to set it so it doesn't move. So I'm going to let that start to dry. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and get out my compact with all my colors in it. So just like you got, depending on whatever size that you picked out, it's got, sorry, don't mean to blind you. It's got my highlight colors, it's got my contour color right here, and then I've got some lip and cheeks put here at the top to play with today. And then I've got some extras here on the bottom for whatever floats my boat at the time. I just love playing with it. So the first thing that I will do is I'm going to take just kind of a smaller brush here, a smaller dense brush, because I want to do some color correcting. And you can see where I've got some redness here, redness on my chin. I'm going to dip into this color here called Mango. I'm not going to swipe. I'm not going to, you know, tap a whole lot. I'm just dipping my brush. And it puts quite a bit on the brush as it is. So I'm going to take it and just start to push it in. All right. Now, for those of you that see Mango, you may see, oh my gosh, that is orange. And I don't know how orange it's coming across on the camera, but it's like magic. I've heard it referred to as magic mango before. It really, really helps with redness on the face. And there's a whole theory behind it that we have to match the darkest color on your face, and then with this warmth if you've got redness, and then we go from there. So I'm going to put a color on top of it to tone it down. Sounds complicated, but once you do it a few times, you've got it. So please don't be intimidated by that. If you're one of the lucky people in this world that have one color of face and you don't have redness and you don't have discolorations and all that, you don't have to do this step. There's not many of those kind of people out there. So luckily, we can do this and get that look. All right, so Perfector sponge. Mine's a little dirty, needs to be washed. It's a sponge. Looks like some of those other beauty sponges out there, but works so much better in my opinion. So you wet it the same, you know, run it under water, squish it, and then I want you to dry it out. I can do a quick video showing how to do that as well, because you don't want it too wet. It's just going to pull everything off. But what I want you to do, especially if I've given you a color correction highlight, is I want you to put that on, and then I want you to use this perfector in between the layers that we put on. because one of the biggest mistakes, and I did it and will admit I still do it at times, is putting too much on. And if you put too much of the cream on, obviously it's going to look like makeup, but you absolutely can have this look like your skin, and that's what's kept me using it. I've now been using this since, gosh, it was the end of September when I first got it. So September to October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. I'm in my 8th month and I haven't even touched. As a matter of fact, I got out one of my old foundations because I thought, oh, I'll do a comparison of a half, old style makeup and a half new style makeup. And when I pumped out a pump of it and smelled it, and it was just that chemically smell that, it hadn't gone bad. It's just the way I remember it smelling. I couldn't put it on my face. So I've just absolutely been converted to this cream kind of makeup. All right, so again, I just want you to dab off any excess. You can see that's starting to even out, like that's not as red as it was. I could probably go in with just a tiny bit more. If I need to, I can see there's a little red spot right there that I might have missed. Sometimes doing it on camera is a little harder. All right, so I've got most of the redness covered. Now you've got a couple of choices, and I would have told you this in your color match. If you like a fuller coverage, I might have recommended the Buffy brush. This one, it's kind of iffy for folks that are new to this because it certainly can put on more makeup or more of the product than you want to. So this is one I want you to kind of work up to, but it can give you the fullest coverage. Another one I may have recommended for you is the B squared brush, and it's actually a blush and bronzer brush. So this end is typically used for blush, and this one will be for bronzer, but you can absolutely use it for your highlight as well, and this will give you a more natural look. Now the key to it, whichever one that you use, is I want you to do it this way. So, okay, so I just put on my color correct. Now I am going to go in with, you can see my highlight color right here that I'm starting to run low on, that I'll have to replace here soon. I want you to go in and just tap it a couple of times, okay? I don't want you, again, to swipe and all that. And you can see there's quite a bit already on the brush. What I want you to do, if you had to color correct with Mango or a different color that I gave you, I don't want you to go in and swirl this. If you don't have any color on there already, sure, swirl it. That's great. That's fine. That'll work it in. But if you go in and swirl on top of everything, then you're just going to move around all of that color correction that you just did. So I take that and I start stamping, stippling, whatever it is you want to call it. Okay. And remember, oh, I should have tied my hair back. This brush here is going to give you a more natural look because the bristles aren't as dense as that Buffy brush. But this is more beginner friendly. So really just kind of depends on which one. So if you've got the Buffy brush and you're feeling like, oh, my face is sticky, or it's just looking too thick, then you may want to practice with it using less. Use about half of what you think, to put about half of what you think you need on the brush, and then I'll wipe off about half of that. And you'll probably be close to how much you need, because I have been amazed at how little product I actually need to get coverage. It's kind of like when I make spaghetti. My husband laughs at me because I never make just enough spaghetti. Like I could feed a small town on the amount of spaghetti I will make for the two of us. I don't know. Do you have that same problem? Or is it just me? First world problems, right? All right, so this main highlight, Candlelit for me, and if I haven't said it, I'll list all the colors down below. But this main highlight for me is the one that I'm going to put kind of all over. The Candlelit works with that Mango that I have as a color corrector. I put it on my lips while I was talking. But that Candlelit works with that Mango that I have as a color corrector to kind of tone it down so that I don't have orangeness on my face. But the Mango really sinks in nicely. So even as fair as I am, I don't walk around looking like a Cheeto or an orange mess. All right, so let me check out my mirror. See how I'm doing there. I got a little of that under my eye, and I wipe it away because I don't necessarily want it right under my eyes. You can tell they're a little dark, and I am going to do something with them, but I'm going to use a different color, and there's no need for this color there. It's not really going to help me much. All right, so I've got that all on. Now, remember what I just told you? I want you to take that perfector sponge and I want you to press. No swiping, you know, all that. Don't pull, because again, you'll just wipe areas of your makeup away. But this will help with any excess until you get more skilled with it. Well, it'll help with it after that, but you'll get more skilled as you go along and you won't have as much excess. But this, again, it's one of those secret weapons swear by. I almost didn't buy it, you know, because I thought $13 for a sponge, are you kidding me? You know, I've used these in the past. I've used the $20 sponge, I've used, you know, the $5 ones, and I just didn't see it. But now I won't be without it. I'm glad I bought it. All right, so when you've got all of the excess off there that you can get, and so my face doesn't feel sticky. Like it just feels, my face always feels moist because I do a lot of moisturizing because I have dry skin. But it feels like a healthy moist. It doesn't feel like there's a bunch of product sitting on it. All right, so we've done color correction. We have done the main highlight. Now I want to do contour. So you've got a couple of options here. I love that our brushes, they really do multitask. You could actually contour with probably that one. I need to try that and experiment. But the two main ones that I will use to contour with are the 30-second hack, which is one of the OG brushes, and then the detail hack. I will use this end of it if I want kind of a sharper contour, or I'll use this end of the 30-second hack if I want just a little more diffused. I'm gonna use the detail hack is my favorite, so I'm gonna use it today. So what I will do is I will go in to my contour color. And our contours, so I told you to be not to swipe your highlight and all that kind of stuff. Our contours are drier, so you can go in a little bit harder, you know, not like super hard. I still don't know that you need to swipe, but you can kind of pounce. I guess that's the right word for it. Pounce it in there, and I like to kind of get it on the lower half of that brush. And then I will take it right here. So a contour, we're trying to create a cheekbone. I throw that word around and forget that I didn't explain it. So with contour, we're wanting to create a cheekbone to kind of create some lift in our face. So take it. I don't want to come out any further than my eye, because then you'll start to pull your face down. And gravity's doing enough of that, so we don't need that. So I just put a little contour right there. Now it's going to look scary the first time you do it. It did to me. It still does. Like if I look at that, I'm like, whoa, but I know I'm going to blend it out. All right. The reason that we want to contour is it adds that structure. So I've got kind of a round face, but see how putting that little bit of contour has started to create some cheekbones for me? That's the point behind what we're trying to do here. So we put that on and then blend up just a little bit. Don't blend down into this part here. You don't want this part contoured. Now, if you do happen to accidentally swipe down there, or you get some color down there, creams, we say there are no mistakes with cream makeup because it can just wipe away. So you could just take your main highlight brush, dip it back in and go over it, and it'll be okay. So it's easy to fix. Much easier than if you had a liquid foundation on and you did a powder there, then you have to take off the liquid and all that. So, all right, I've got that done. The other thing, you may want to contour your forehead. Now, in your color match, I would have kind of given you an idea of where I thought that you should place the contour because not everyone has to contour the same. There's a basic premise of like a 3 and an E on your face, and that's a basic guideline. But let's say that you already had sort of a narrow forehead. I'm not going to have you contour your forehead because it's already narrow. Mine, since my hair kind of sits up off of it, is a little bit wider. So I do want to contour mine. Same brush, I did the same thing. Let me pull the hair out of the way. I just come up here and put a little bit at an angle to just start to create some dimension there. Now that looks really scary, and I know it does, but it is going to blend right away. I will take my perfector sponge, work it through the edges. I will tell you, when we first got the contour, I would put just a little bit on and be like, oh, looky there, I'm contoured. And I look back at some of my pictures, I'm like, girl, where is your contour? Because now, like, I feel naked if I don't have some contour on. And I don't look like, you know, some crazy face person when I go out. It just all blends together and creates that dimension that I like. So anyway, I just don't want you to be scared of it. I do think that if you're like me, you'll find that eventually as you wear it a little bit more, you're going to be like, yeah, I can handle a little more contour. It'll be all right. The other place I like to contour, I put a little bit more on my brush, is right here along my jawline, because it's just something I like to make a little bit smaller if I can. So I start behind the ear and I come up the jawline and then down my neck a little, because I have a lighter neck than my face. So that just kind of creates a little dimension there. Looks a little nicer. You don't want it on top of your face there, but right under that jawline. And again. So in your color match, I would have told you, you know, to bring it, your neck's lighter. You know, those are the things that we look at. This is why that I can't just say, like, if you tell me you wear NC20 and MAC, I can't just say, oh, well, these are the colors that you need. When I get that color match, I'm looking at your face. I'm looking at the different colors in your face. Do you have redness? Do you have discoloration? You know, what is it that you're wanting to enhance? What is it that you're wanting to change a little bit? And then I'll look at your neck and your chest. So that's why it's really important, and I asked you to have a picture where I could see your neck and chest, because I don't want your face to look like one thing and then your neck and chest to look like another. I want you to look all uniform. So there is a little bit more that goes into this than just, oh, I think this is your color. So please, if I was picky on your picture, you know, I apologize, but I'm wanting to make sure I get you the most perfect match that I absolutely can. All right, so we're contoured. Now we are going to work on this darkness under here a little bit. So a couple of things. I have got, let me see if you can see, I don't know if the lights blow it out too much or not, but I have got some darkness under here that's kind of a bluish, it's not really purple, it's more of a blue, that I just want to brighten that a little bit before I put on my highlight. And so I'm going to go back in with that same mango that I used on my redness. You see why I call it Magic Mango. Same thing, I just dipped my brush in, put a little bit on. And then I'm going to put it right there in that corner. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and then I'll blend them out. Okay. This orangey just looks so good with blue, blue under eyes. So I'm also coming out just a hair to cover the, you can see that now everybody's eyes are typically get dark if you do this into a light, but when I sit up they're not quite as dark, but I come out just a little bit. I don't want to go ham and put it everywhere, because with mature eyes, the less product still the better. Even though this looks wonderful on mature skin, you still don't want to overdo it. All right, so I'm really getting up in there and pressing. Really getting up in there and pressing. Okay. All right. Wow, that looks so much better. It still looks a little orange because of mango, but so much better. All right, so now I'm going to take my Buffy brush, and I love this end of the Buffy brush for under here because it just fits almost perfectly. And I'm going to put it into my accent highlight, which I would have told you which one is yours. I go back and forth between a couple. Sometimes I use White Peach, sometimes I use Aura. It mainly just depends on if I've got some Sunless Tan on or not, and I don't right now So I am going to stick with White Peach. Again, just that I just press it down once and I've got more than I need with that. So I'm going to come in here with White Peach. And look, I mean, I haven't even really done anything with that yet, except gotten my hair in it. Look at how much better those under eyes look. If I didn't have the color corrector on this one already, you could really see the difference. I probably should have done that, but whatevs. All right, so let's put some over here. Again, this brush just fits perfectly right in there. All right, so now you know what's coming, right? Yep, let's get that perfector sponge out. Pop it on there. Because this is a place where, especially with mature eyes, if you have too much product, it could crease. Now, with that being said, is that the worst thing in life? I mean, you don't want to walk around with it like that. But if you do happen to notice a little creasing during the day, if you got too much on, you just pop your finger right there and it's gone. So, all right, so we've got that. Now, you can, if you want to, so this is totally personal preference. And with mature skin, you know your skin better. If you want to set it with a powder or not. I don't set my whole face with a powder because I don't need to. Even though I've got dry skin and this is cream, I don't need to set it. But under my eyes, I do like to set those a little bit just to kind of help in case, because I smile and laugh throughout the day and to help with that creasiness. So I will take a little of our vanilla dust right there. And you can see I've used quite a bit of it. And here's our power powder brush, and it's got a great end right here to fit under the eye. So I want you to take the tiniest amount that you can. With powder, powder is not your best friend on mature eyes or textured eyes. And then I just take this and just lay it right under there just to set that down to help alleviate some of that creasing that might happen. Same thing here. All right, and this is a translucent powder, vanilla dust for us, and it just is made for setting that. All right, so the other thing now, let's see, where do I want to go? Let me put on the black eyeshadow that I told you, because I never did go back and do that. So we've got a black eyeshadow right here. I just use the little end of a brush. This is multitasker brush, and it's an awesome little brush for multitasking. All right, so I just take it and run it over where I did that liquid eyeliner. Not liquid, gel. Losing it. All right, so there we go. Right. Now, the next thing, curl my lashes to help out just a little bit. I used to have, not the longest lashes ever, but they would touch my glasses when I would wear them, and they were pretty full. I don't know if just getting older has made them thinner, or, I've had some thyroid issues going on that certainly could have contributed to it. So either way, they are what they are, right? So I just make that face with your mouth open. Just put a little mascara on. The tops and bottoms to finish that out. This is, everybody in the world has seen it, CoverGirl Lash Blast. I like it. It's one of the best that I've found. I like a dry formula. If it's too wet, my lashes tend to just kind of droop, and I don't like that. All right, just a couple more things and we're done. So brows are my struggle. I'm trying to figure out how to get them the way I want them, and I just haven't. So probably should just go to a professional and have them do it. I use this Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil, and the reason I like it, I'm gonna have to look down in this mirror so that I can see. The reason I like it is it comes in gray. So not many brows come in gray. a lot of the times they will suggest taupe. Well, as I am getting grayer and grayer, taupe is too brown and it looks too warm when I put it in my brows. So I like this for that. Man, do brows make a big difference in your face. Now, I'm super excited. I'm not going to say a lot about it yet because I haven't gotten it, but there's a new product that I think just came out, and I have ordered it. It should be here next week. I'm hoping that it knocks my socks off for brows, but we'll see. All right, so feel a little better there. Having some brows and it's all about structure in the face, right? All right, so what do we have left? Now is time for lip and cheek to kind of round us out. Let me move this out of the way. We've got a variety of lip and cheeks. I have a few put in here today. This one right here, I just cannot get enough of right now, and it's called Cindy. They are super pigmented. So I will take this brush. This is the same brush that I did my highlight with. I just wiped it off on that towel. So I'm going to take my brush, and I'm just barely, just barely pushing it in there. And you can see I've got a little bit on here. This is plenty. All right, so I'm going to put it, I don't like to put it down here, on the bottom part of the apple. I like to kind of put it on top to help lift my face some more. So I just put it on there, and I just, like I've done with most other things, just kind of dab it. And man, in real life, I don't know how this shows on the camera. In real life, that just made my eyes blue, just kind of shoot out, blue, stand out. Well, that's the word I'm looking for. Words, they're hard today. All right, now our lip and cheeks, here's something about it. When you put them on, it may be like, whoa. They tend to kind of calm down after just a few minutes. So put a little bit on, and if you think it's too much, wait just a few minutes and kind of see how it tones down. Now, if for some reason it didn't tone down, like let's say you put too much on, you can certainly take your brush back into your main highlight shade and go over it as well. But there you go. So that's bringing some life to the face. Another thing people love is this illuminator. So you can take an illuminator and just, let me see, I just use my hands because that's what I do. Just pop in it and just pop it there on top of your cheek just to give you that little glow. Sometimes we'll put a little right here for a little glow. I don't go all crazy, down my nose and that sort of thing. Okay, now we're on to the final step, which is which is lips. Alrighty, you can certainly use whatever you want. I use that tiny brush that I used for my eyeliner, that black eyeliner. I'm just wiping it off so that it's clean. And then I go into a color we've got called Plum, because I like a mauve lip liner. And then, sorry, I can't talk while I'm doing this. Oh, that color, I just love it. All right. So we've got that color. What I can do with the other end of this is take it into the Cindy that I put on my cheeks. Just a little dab there. So pretty. And then I can flip it over. I've got one called Summer Love that's a little glossier if I want that on there. I like to just play with the colors if you can't tell. But this brush, so I just use it on my lips. You can use it on your eyes. You can use it for a little spot concealing if you need to. So this multitasker is lovely. All right, so there you go. Did I do everything? Face, lips. Now you can, one more thing, I forgot about this. You can go in if you like. Let's say that you do self tan or you're darker and you want a bronze. We've got a cream bronzer called Bella, or there's a powder bronzer here that's called Cayman. And I'll be honest, so I'm using the bronzer end of the blush and bronzer brush. It is super light. So, I mean, it shows up on me. But if you are any darker than me, you might use it more, you know, to kind of set your contour than you would as a bronzer. But that's it. So there you go. Sorry, this video, it looks like it's taking forever, but I just have so much fun putting this on that I don't want to rush it. Hopefully that answered some questions for you, at least showed you how to use some of the colors that I picked out for you. Absolutely leave me questions below if you know you've still got questions and you're not sure what color to use where or how to apply it or that sort of thing, because that's what I'm here for, here to help you out. If you haven't been color matched and you're interested in it, I'll link my form below. There is absolutely no pressure. You know, if you just want to kind of, you know, see what it might be and check it out a little bit, that's fine. You know, I'm not one of these people that's going to hound you to death. I want you to try it if you want to, and I want to help you love it. But I'm not going to drive you crazy. I will be here to answer your questions, but I'm not going to hound you and that sort of thing. Anyway, so I guess that's enough for today. I hope you're doing well. I hope this was helpful. Leave me your questions below, and I will see you next time.